if Steve was a host, he'd share his vodka.
Yeah, I absolutely would. You can have it all. Say, hey,
So
take it away.
In case people were wondering, yes, it is true. Go to our YouTube channel. There is a huge bottle of Svedka imported Swedish vodka, distilled 5 times.
Wow, that's impressive.
Why 5, Steve?
I don't really know. Oh, because you. Oh, okay, I get it.
Oh, so Steve, we made it in here. We knew we were going to talk about
Somebody
today.
said Selena did a great job on the text
Good
line.
job, Selena.
We have gotten a ton of positive feedback about your Sports Center this morning. Nothing but positive.
Listen. I'm going to interrupt what you're saying. You're talking all positive. I'm going to do this, Steve. I know you don't want me to do it.
Don't do
Oh,
that.
look
Yeah,
at that.
don't do that.
Look at that.
Don't do that.
Look at that.
Don't do that. Yeah. Ignore that.
I tried. Listen.
I know. Yeah. Ignore that.
Texter, I tried to give you a shot, but as soon as I opened up your text, like,
yeah, you're still marked as annoying Kentucky fan. So,
so
just because you haven't texted a bunch of times,
so,
like, you're still marked.
Unfortunately,
so you don't get airtime on this show.
Unfortunately, for the non-annoying Kentucky fan,
yeah,
there's a label that pops up consistently on out.
There's certain ones we mark, and see what I'm saying? All right, Texter wants the Bullitt County connection. He knows what I'm talking about.
Texter wants to get Steve Rummage out of the building. Listen, I hope you do know when you move on to bigger and better and greater things, Steve.
Yeah, you
do know that I'm going to randomly, myself and Brian Hall.
Yeah.
We're gonna give whatever station you're at a nice little, plug.
Yeah.
And we're gonna drop in onto your show. How many times a show are we gonna do that, Brian?
I think we should do it like the entire show. Just check in on it periodically. Every 15 minutes. How's everything going, Steve?
Listen, I'm going to be on the air going, look, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Like, behind the scenes, like, Maven's a jerk. Like, Maven's a jerk.
One time he smacked me with a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Like, hey, I watched him punk out interns.
He's bullying people.
How about this? I'll dive right into it. Ballard linebacker Jared Casey makes his college choice today. Don't think he's picking Louisville.
Nope. They are in the Final Four.
What is going on here?
What is it?
We're all over the place. I came in here wanting to talk about LeBron James and the Lakers.
Oh, my Lakers, baby.
Ooh.
Gosh, we look good.
You're not making a natural transition to we.
I stayed up to watch that.
By the way, people, yes, we are up and running on the YouTube channel. We are made for the Ville. If you want to see the gallon and a half.
That's insane. That's an insane amount of alcohol.
Specialty vodka. Steve, this lasts you almost a whole week.
That's what I was going to say.
I mean, not going to drink it in a day or anything.
My gosh. A week? You're going to need a new liver.
That was a joke, Steve.
Oh, I was like, God.
This is, sometimes.
Look at the bubbles coming to. That's some serious.
There are no bubbles.
Acidic.
There are no bubbles in there, Steve.
All right. Golly.
That'd be disrespecting the vodka.
Thank you, Texter. Co-host Steve. Host Steve.
Listen. You get no disagreement from me.
I'm just making that money. Either way.
Right. Let's drive up the price on Steve. Listen, Texter, text in all your compliments towards Steve, and let's drive up the price. Because listen,
thank you.
Steve is going to need this in resumes when negotiations come around.
Thank you.
They do come around often.
They happen. So one thing leads to another. You never know.
LeBron triple doubles.
I thought,
in 18 minutes.
No, that was exciting. That was exciting. They're exciting.
I hope somebody.
They start the game off snapping the ball to Rondo.
I hope somebody can take some time and stay up a little later and watch these new look Lakers. They look very. You know what? They have the excitement of the Heatles without the talent, but the Laker element makes it awesome. Those uniforms and a team having fun. Man, you could tell the Warriors were a little jealous of that.
Absolutely.
Like, come on, like we're the champions, and why is everybody?
Yeah, nobody cared. Nobody cared.
Nobody cared about Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Boogie. It's like nobody cared about seeing the Golden State Warriors at all.
Right.
And that was brutal. Chug the bottle of vodka. What? Why would you say that, Texter? Chug the bottle of vodka.
What is this show turned into, man?
It had a funny start.
Where are we gonna start today? I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave this in your hands because, it's his paper. Because I'm a little bit everywhere right now, and I find myself in a very awkward place.
Okay, well, I'll give you basically an option.
Okay.
So last night I called you, right?
Yeah.
Called you a little excited. Actually, you were probably still in church when I called you, and then I had to wait till you got out of church to tell you what I was doing.
I was.
So 8150-939 is the number, 3831-939 is the text line. This is what I did. I called Steve last night. I said, Steve, you know what I'm going to do with my time? I'm going to watch a little bit of Boston College football.
Yeah.
I watched a little Boston College football. And to get a good view of Boston College football, I looked for a comparative offense.
Yeah.
That I could see play against Boston College.
Yeah.
Steve, without pointing to any coaches or any systems, do you know any schools with offenses that are anywhere similar to Louisville that have played Boston College?
Well, I know one that's going to Saturday. You say
one that has played.
One that has played. Yeah, Purdue. 2 weeks ago.
So I threw in the Purdue Boston College game.
Yeah.
Opinions came out of that.
I had a few myself. Because of course, when you tell me you're watching it, I'm like, well, I've got to go check out some of it.
Just to at least have some frame of reference. You know what my number one thought out of the end of it was? Tutu Atwell was right. Tutu Atwell was right. And I'll stop right there. I'll put a big backslash and I'll cut off that sentence. I'll go to another sentence. Steve, how do you feel now that the day of reckoning for college sports is kind of upon us? Now we can talk about the investigations going on, or we can talk about the attitude about the way we're ingesting the coverage. Because there's two schools of thought. Everybody or Louisville centric. Does it feel as good as it should feel? Are you getting happier watching more people come in? Are you feeling kind of down for the sport itself? That's a conversation we got to have. But before we do any of that, people are excited. When they think of this show and they think of Bill Etzkorns and Sons Collision Center Hotline, they say, I need to make that call into the show. Then I need to take my car and get an estimate.
And Tuesday, I took a lot of calls, and I don't think I gave Bill Etzkorns the proper.
Go ahead and get me fired then.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead and get me fired.
All right. That was on me. I get excited. I start taking calls. I'm like, I start calling the Stevie hotline. I don't know. Tell my guys over Bill Etzkorns and Son. That's on me. That's my fault.
The Stevie.
I'm sorry.
The Stevie hotline.
I'm sorry.
That's what they turned it into.
I'll turn it around.
Ronnie, thanks for joining us on 93.9, my man. What's on your mind?
I was going to talk to you guys about the Lakers
and
Golden State, and one comment about Louisville at the end. But
okay.
I wouldn't get too overly excited about a preseason game where LeBron had a good game because LeBron's going to experience something this year that he's never experienced before, and he's not going to make it to the conference finals this year. They won't even be, in my opinion, I'd be willing to bet that they never even, the entire 4 years that he's there, that they'll never be a 5 seed or better than a 5 seed coming out of the West. And his game is going to change drastically, and I wouldn't be surprised over the course of a 4-year period that LA doesn't give up on him and start booing him, because everybody always likes to talk about how great LeBron is, but the one characteristic that LeBron does not have is a killer fighter instinct. He's a quitter. When I think of all the great players, especially the ones that come from the Lakers or just any team, when you mention Kobe, Michael Jordan,
right?
You name it, Kevin Durant, it doesn't matter. Steph Curry, I don't care. Kyrie Irving, Dwayne Wade. They never give up on their team. They never quit. They never walk off the court. They want the ball. They want the final shot. They want all the pressure on them, and LeBron is not that way. He's a quitter, and he's a passer at the end of the game, and that's just what he does. And I guarantee you within 4 years, they'll never make it to a championship. They'll never be better than a 5 seed coming out of the West. And I bet LA turns on him, because you can't take a guy with a attitude the way that he has, a quitter mentality, and giving up at the end when the chips are down.
Right.
A guy like that just doesn't change overnight and become a Kobe Bryant or a Michael Jordan overnight. It just doesn't happen. I know everybody wants to crown him a king and this, that, and the other, but what they don't realize is that all those conference championships, he came out of the East when the East was 100% completely horrible, and the only time he ever won a championship is when he had an all-star, I mean a superstar on his team with Dwayne Wade, who's already won championships, and that's how he got his championship when he went to Miami. And when he won it the other time, he had Kyrie Irving, if anybody watched those finals, the one person who could not miss a shot and demanded the ball and made every shot practically that he shot was Kyrie Irving, and it wasn't LeBron James. When he goes to the West, he's going to run into talent that he has never seen before. Harder games in the regular season. It's going to wear him down, and you watch. I guarantee you that'll happen. And as far as Louisville goes, I have zero interest in Jeff Brom ever being a coach at Louisville. I want to go back to the days, the only good years, the best years of Louisville football.
Now we're going to go on this tear?
Charlie Strong and the team that he put together. Everybody wants to go back to Lamar's days and this, that, and the other. They almost lost me as a fan. No knock on Lamar. He's great, and I'm super excited that he got us a Heisman and all the recognition that he did. But Teddy Bridgewater, in my opinion, is a 10 times better quarterback than Lamar ever was for this school. And when I remember great games, I remember the Florida game when they were hitting Teddy left and right. Florida was argued to be a top contender,
right?
And we went in there and kicked their tails. And it was with Charlie Strong. That's the kind of football that I want. I want the Charlie Strong football. I don't want to beat somebody because we score 70 and they score 60. I want to beat somebody because our defense is tough and strong, and we got good, talented people all the way around. And that's my comments. Sorry it took so long.
Ronnie, I appreciate the call. Bill Etzgoins and Sons Collision Center appreciates the call.
You know what? Screw it. Give me this vodka. I need this.
Oh, my God.
Somebody give me. I'm going to drink this.
What just happened?
What just
happened on the radio?
Imported
right there?
Swedish vodka, distilled. You know what? That don't sound too bad now that you think about it.
Just happened? My man Ronnie hates LeBron.
Wow.
Dude, lost it.
My man Ronnie hates Jeff Brom.
Thank you.
I think he just wanted to spill all his problems right there on the radio.
My man Ronnie wanted everybody to know I listen to the middays with Marcus, baby, because he lets me speak my mind.
I thought we were about to hear about his wife, too.
Jeez. Steve.
Vodka wouldn't be strong enough.
I don't know how.
I'm from Bullitt County. I need like moonshine right now.
My man Jonathan is going to follow this up. But Jonathan, the bar has been raised. Thanks for joining us on 93.9, my man. Fire away.
I'm driving in my car, and I had to pull over because this guy made me cringe. I mean, he is making me cringe. First of all, let's go back to LeBron. I understand what you're saying about Kyrie. He's great in this. But what did Kyrie do before LeBron got there? He didn't even make the playoffs, bro. He didn't even make the playoffs.
It was he had the worst record in the entire NBA.
Preach the gospel, Marcus. Preach the gospel. See, Another thing, Lamar is, oh, Lord. Teddy Bridgewater is great. He is great. But did Teddy Bridgewater win a Heisman with the team that Lamar had? He did it. Oh, come on, man. Come on. I was just going to sit back and listen today, not even call it, just enjoy the show, but that got me worked up. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, I don't know what his name is, but I get that you love the show, but, man, come on, bro. Come on. Love you, boys.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate the call.
I kind of rethought my whole life during that situation.
I'm listening. Because you're going to have to address the Ronnie call. You can't make all those antics. Everybody on the planet saw you on YouTube just now and how you responded to Ronnie's call.
I tried to smother myself. I'm not going to lie. It was bad. I don't know.
You turned into hoodie rummage.
I really, and I'm actually thanking Ronnie for this because I'm really like, I went through, I think, a life transition during that call. I was like, you got things you need to change with your life.
I'm listening.
I mean, just all kinds of stuff. It's like, you need to love your wife more. You need to love your kids more, man.
Yes.
Like, you need to.
Yes,
I'm
Steve.
thinking, I'm like,
thank you, Ronnie.
I'm like, Steve, you need to appreciate money and what you have.
Everything.
I mean, golly.
Because Ronnie was mad about LeBron.
I was just.
He's a loser. He has a quitter mentality.
If I hadn't found the Lord, I think I found him again during that call.
For the first time, LeBron's not going to make it to the Western Conference Finals. Think about if you said for the first time. Anytime you say for the first time, which is the problem when we had the Bobby discussion. I'm not allowed to say for the first time.
Yeah.
And think that predict for the first time. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's an uncomfortable comment to me. For the first time, Bobby's not going to win or, have a winning season.
Yeah.
Oh, why do you get to do that?
He did, man.
You needed Dwayne Wade, who's already a champion. You needed Kyrie Irving, who was never missed a shot. And it's like, dude, Kyrie can't make it to the end of a season because he can't carry the load.
I need to try foods that I've never tried before.
Well, good, because we have Jay Gumbos on the way today. Shout out to Jay Gumbos.
Yeah. I'll try that.
Go ahead and mess it up.
No, I'm saying, yeah, I'll try that. Yeah, no. Wow. Well, I'm glad we got that going. And thank you, Ronnie. And look, hey, at the end of the day, Ronnie, that's what we're all about. You can call in and give your opinion.
You can call and give your opinion.
And let's talk. Where
were we going? We were talking about.
I don't know where we were going. Really. I feel like I've been Men in Black, where they just hit you with that thing, and you don't really know what you were doing with anything.
Right.
Hey, I know where you were going, Marcus. You were talking about Jay Gumbos and Mr. Delivery Thursday.
I was, wasn't I?
Yes, Jay Gumbos in the Highlands.
If you tell me that's what I was talking about, then that's what we were talking about.
For some certain reason, Brian, you know what? I want you to have this one today.
That's exactly what you were talking about. You were talking about Mr. Delivery Thursday with Jay Gumbos from the Highlands. And thanks to Tommy and Mr. Delivery and the team for bringing Jay Gumbos from the Highlands to the ESPN Louisville studios. Breakfast, lunch, dinner for home or the office, fast food. Use promo code ESPN for a discount on your first order or download the new app or head to MrDelivery.com. That's local restaurants delivered.
I wish there was a moment during that call where I kind of wish I was with Locke and Andy at UK Media Day.
Wait.
I was like.
Wait, what do you mean?
I need to be out of here.
Wait, where are they?
What?
What'd you say?
Locke and Andy are at UK Media Day.
Oh, our sister station. Okay, that's awesome.
I was like, I almost felt like I needed to be out there just to unleash some anger.
Well, okay, so if you're curious of what's going on with the UK Media Day, you should tune into our sister station. They are up there right now. I'm sure they're doing a great job.
I don't think too many people that listen, they are doing a great job, I'm sure, but I don't think too many people listen to us.
Steve, we promote everybody around here. Philly Carl, thanks for joining us on the Scoring Collision Hotline, my man. Fire away.
Man, I wasn't even going to call, man, but I hate it. This is why I hate it, man. I don't like anybody taking shots at LeBron, man. When you finally get a superstar that does so much, that he does, and people probably don't investigate what he does in the community, what he does on the basketball court, man. And he doesn't have a bunch of outside kids. He ain't out here shooting nobody. He ain't got no off the court issues.
Right.
Why can't everybody love this man? I mean, I don't understand it, man.
Yeah.
And even with me, I feel like the greatest ball player of all time is Dr. J, man. That's just me, when you.
Philly, you're just trying to be difficult. You do not think Dr. J is the best basketball player of all time. That's not true.
I bet you think the guy in the Invincible movie is the best underdog story of all time too.
Hey, you know I do. That's me, man. But
Marky Mark.
Marky
I
Mark.
don't understand. Why do y'all think he catches so much? People like he had to do this, he had to do this. Well, when Magic came to L.A., he had Coop, Wilkins, he had Kareem, Bird had McHale, Parrish, Dennis Johnson. Everybody's always had a bunch of stars. Why do y'all think he
Dr. J had Barkley?
Huh?
He had Chocolate Thunder and Barkley.
Who, Doc?
Yeah.
Well, Doc didn't have Barkley. Barkley
did.
Yeah,
Yeah. No.
Yeah, after we won the championship.
Yeah.
82, 83.
Don't stop questioning Philly Carl about his Sixers knowledge, dude. Come on.
Yeah, but why do y'all think he catches so much flack, man? As a greater player as he is, and what he's done to the game, and like when he's gone, basketball is probably going to fall off big time. So why do y'all feel like he catches so much flack?
Because he's not Jordan, he's not Kobe, and if you love Jordan and anybody threatens Jordan, you gotta give him a hard time. Or if he threatens to be the powerful, you know how this game is played. Just like people like to be contrarian, just like you try to say Dr. J. Dr. J was a wingman, an athletic wing. It's Kawhi Leonard.
This, Marcus, I will tell you this, and you can look it up, YouTube. When you ask all of the older players, because I think Doc didn't get a lot of TV time because he spent a lot of time in the ABA. The Tiny Archibalds, the Earl Monroes, the George Gervins. When you ask them all that, right now to this day, they say Doc. So it ain't like it's just me. It ain't like it's just me, Doc. So I'll holler at y'all, man.
What are we? What the crap are we doing today? We have freaking the football team's in the middle of a season that we're trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know whether this Saturday I'm kind of like, man, get it together, let's go. Maybe I'm like, maybe do I want Jeff Brom? I don't know. I'm starting to feel like I kind of want Bobby to stay and just restructure the staff. The college basketball trials in here, and y'all got me in here talking about Julius Erving and LeBron. I hate everything.
Do you see this?
Yes, Barkley and Dr. J play together. Yes, they did. They did.
No, don't scoff at what just happened right now, Steve.
I hate this show.
No. Brian Hall, get on there right now. Brian Hall, get on there. Steve Rummage. You don't do that. Philly Carl just got on this line, and guess what he said? Can Brian not hear me back there?
I can hear you.
Brian, Philly Carl is talking about how Dr. J and blah, blah, blah is the best all time. And I said, and he said, well, Dr. J didn't have anybody to play with. I said, well, Barkley. I said, Dr. J played with Barkley and Moses Malone. You know what I'm saying? Right. And guess what he said? Barkley never played with Dr. J. And
then play with Moses Malone.
No. Listen. And then my co-host, my partner in crime, who's supposed to have my back, says, yeah, Marcus, Dr. J never played with Barkley. Don't argue with Philly Carl. He's from Philly, right? And then what do? We do a simple YouTube search, and the first highlight that comes up is Michael Jordan against Dr. J and Charles Barkley. And Moses Malone is right in the middle. And then Steve wants to just talk about interesting stuff like Louisville football and stuff like that. And I want him to acknowledge we were wrong and you were right.
Right.
Hey, Steve, that'll teach you to never trust an Eagles fan,
That's true.
Good point.
I can't believe
that's
that
the last
you
time.
decided to go
That's the last
against
time
your Cowboy fandom
I ever take Philly
and-
Carl's side.
and listen to an Eagles fan.
I wish I had sold insurance or
I
something.
wish I would have marked that.
Why didn't I start selling insurance
I don't know.
or do
Let's-
something with my life?
Let's totally,
That's
totally,
productive.
totally reset this show.
I hate
Midday
everything.
with Marcus Maybe. Quick commercial break.
I
8150.
may be here when we get back.
93.9 is the number on 93.9 The Ville.
Make your statement this fall with a Rolex watch or spectacle.
You're listening to Middays with Marcus Maben, broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services studio on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Midday with Marcus Maben. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. So what do we got Sunday coming up? What's the buzz? Little Red Sox. I heard, everybody's excited about New England and Red Sox games. And I guess it's a perfect time to throw this in here. Well, if you need to go to the Bull for a new system, it's a great time to buy a Train Comfort System from DFH. This month only, you can get a 15-month special financing on a qualified Train Comfort System. It's hard to stop a train, so call DFH 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions subject to credit approval. Now, we will definitely get to the more serious side of today's show, but again, just to kind of recap, I started off kind of making a joke about, harassing you last night about wanting to see Boston College play against some other teams because we knew the Boston College game was going to be off. Now we're getting to the point where, for lack of a better term, the meat of the schedule.
Yeah, definitely
is here.
I think the next few games, are much tougher outside of Alabama than anything you've played so far.
I put the games. Every time you have an off season, we usually say about 4 games are the games that are concentrated on during the spring.
Yeah,
during the summer, kind of the game plans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before I go to the Boston College, do you think Georgia Tech, minus the snarkiness, do you think Georgia Tech was a focused game?
I do a little. I do think that they worked on that, but here's my problem with Georgia Tech and why. Now, when I say I give you a pass for Georgia Tech, of course not. I don't give you a pass.
Not after you lose to Florida State and Virginia. We gave a preseason pass on the Georgia Tech game, which that's what really sucks.
Because you don't at Louisville,
and you're not going to play them anymore.
We play them like every 3 years or something, 4 years.
Right.
Unless you always want to have in the back of your mind in case you catch them in the ACC tournament or ACC championship game for some reason. But even then, you got a month.
And you expect to have superior talent, superior athletes, and you expect yourself to be able to lock people in for a week and get ready for Georgia Tech.
That offense is something. I don't want to indulge too much information, but I think even Jalen was saying that's an offense that you need to work on a
lot more than.
But if I don't
week up.
Play it every year,
especially a short week,
there's 3 teams that run that efficiently in the country.
Right.
So no, I don't think was a focused game.
Right.
In the offseason.
The reason I asked that question is because, unfortunately, if you're a football fan of the University of Louisville, if you're one of us, one of what we are, and I'll put myself in this one, the spoiled class. I try to temper expectations when people start saying, "Oh, we got that win, and we already got that win, and we got that win." But I get it because I'm with you. I know where you're coming from when you say, "Okay, well, our first real test after Alabama is going to be, Boston College," because we don't know what Florida State's going to be. We got comfortable with beating Florida State.
We did.
We just knew we were going to beat Virginia.
Florida State looked good last week too. I was aggravated.
Of course they did.
I was aggravated earlier in the week, but I do say, and I'm not backing off my stance here, okay, on how I feel.
Right.
But I will say now I can take a breath because you said something earlier in the week about how good they looked against Miami. And I do take that into account. Say that Florida State game, we looked pretty good, I thought.
That's not a public radio stance because I don't feel like arguing about the details of an improving football team. I have to have that conversation with coaches and players and passionate football, enthusiasts.
Sure. Yeah.
That's not public consumption talk about places they got better at, about athlete versus athlete at this position. I won't do that. I'll just let you call into the show and say, we can't lose to Florida State and we suck.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's move forward.
Right.
Florida State is one of those taken for granted kind of, we should beat them and we should be,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Now, Boston College coming into the season, when people wanted to start counting in losses that you're probably going to hit, games that you're not really going to be into, Boston College was one of the first, you're not going to win this one. It was like the unanimous.
Well, not from us.
Yeah, not from us.
Because I think this was one we pointed at, and this is one, and I'm not jumping ahead of you, but this is one I think I even sit here today and say, oh, no, they go up there and get this one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Here, okay. When we look back on the season, and you can do the ha-ha, I was right, and Marcus, you were wrong, is because I didn't give you Virginia. I didn't give you Florida State. I took the Georgia Tech loss coming into the year.
Yeah.
I
don't think I took it, but I was like, yeah.
See, I took the upset, kind of psychologically.
Sure.
I took Florida State or Georgia Tech, right? You hear me?
Yep.
I was prepared to eat one of those losses.
Yeah.
It sucks because Florida State was not the loss. You know what I'm saying? Virginia was not the loss I could give up.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. When people started talking about setting Louisville at 6 wins, right?
Yeah.
You had no, would you agree that consensus was you're not beating Boston College up in Boston College?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Right? Because like I said,
yeah.
You felt like it wasn't scheme. We didn't have the defensive line to deal with.
I watched him throw my man out of the stadium last year,
which was the crowning achievement of Boston College's game last year.
I don't know if he's actually hit the ground yet.
That was at home, wasn't it?
It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life in person.
Who did he throw?
Chucky Williams. I'll never forget that moment for as long as I'm a Louisville football fan. Watching a running back grab him by the jersey and throw him off of him.
You know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of playing youth football, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
But I had one of these real crunk coaches, right? Good sized guy. And, one of those guys used to wear those Russell Athletic Walmart jerseys and then the matching pants, right? Just in full coach garb, right?
Oh yeah.
But he's kind of well put together.
Sure.
And some practices he would be running back. And we were kids, we were 11 years old, right?
Right.
And he would be the running back.
Yeah.
And he would do stuff like that to us as kids.
Yeah.
And he would physically just.
Oh yeah.
We're fully padded.
I can see that guy.
Yeah, you right?
Yeah.
Right. We're fully padded.
Like Stanley from The Office.
Yes.
When they play basketball.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we're fully padded. He wants to show y'all y'all, even in your pads.
Yes.
You can't stop this grown
yeah.
adult man who's throwing kids off of him, right?
Yes.
And in hindsight, there was a little smell that I never could identify.
Yeah.
Till years later, I realized he was gin. He was heavily ginned up.
Absolutely.
Doesn't that make perfect sense later on?
No, it does now.
But yeah, that reminded me of him throwing our guy. And you remember the saddest part about that whole situation?
No.
What year is he? Last year.
Oh. Who? Dylan?
Dylan.
Was a freshman.
That's what I'm talking about, Steve.
Yeah.
When you were concentrating on the guy throwing, I'm concentrating on the age.
Yeah.
And the age of my guy.
Yes, was a senior.
My senior cannot get thrown.
Sure.
And that's when I decided. That was the moment I decided there has to be some personal accountability in life.
Yes. Yes.
So if people want to know why I am the last to blame the coaches, because I don't care who you are and what you do with your life. If a freshman throws a fifth-year senior out of the stadium, right?
Yeah.
To me, that can never be a coaching issue.
Text line says, Steve, you can see him because you would be him if you coached your boys' team.
I guarantee it. I guarantee. Listen, minus
Hey, look,
the gym.
none of y'all got it. Everybody, line up right now.
Yeah.
I'm tackling. We're Oklahoma drill. I'm in. I'm checking myself in. Let's go.
No,
So,
and-
somebody cut my sleeves.
No, and he was fullback.
That's funny, too.
He was fullback. He was 5 yards deep behind the quarterback.
Yeah.
And when they missnapped or when the fullback jerked a little bit before the play,
Yeah.
and he'd like, "What are you looking at me for?"
I know.
Because the fullback is looking like, "Coach, are you really gonna?
Yeah.
You're really gonna run this play?" You
Yeah.
know?
Like, let's go.
Where's the linebacker? You be ready to step up in there.
Somebody's laughing at he was ginned up.
Yo, he was totally ginned up. But you get my point.
No, I do.
Personal accountability. When I see that play, I'm like, so what do you want? My defensive coach,
Sermon.
What do you want Peter Sermon to do? A freshman just threw a fifth-year senior into the third row of a game.
Well, never play him again. It's a good start. But to your point, I think what you're saying
I forgot my point.
yeah. Never, ever allow him on the football field again. But to your point, I think that goes into when you watch plays like that, and that wasn't the only one.
Right.
Why?
But he's a freshman.
Yeah,
There's no film on him. You don't know how good he is.
sure. But now
See him
I
up
think
close.
that goes into why they were picked. I mean, this was a game that I think a lot of people nationally just immediately said, "Oh, well, they ain't got a choice."
The way he tossed that dude, they don't have a chance. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So fast forward. You're headed up to Boston College. Give yourself a realistic. Are we still in the who shows up defense mode? Are we still in the who shows up offense mode? Because listen, not to jump around, but we keep having this conversation and we keep saying things like, I'm tired of watching good plays out of Hassan Hall.
Yeah, see,
He's got will.
that's me. Look, the defense, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Where I stand right now, if Bobby
You don't fly around against Florida State, tackle that hard against Florida State, and then just get ran over.
No, where I'm at with the defense is I think
Mulligan, Georgia
yes,
Tech. Yep.
if today you ask me, because I do think there's a couple options that happen at the end of the year. I think either Bobby's let go and you hire Jeff Brom, or I think Bobby is told there needs to be an overhaul with the staff. And
right now.
Right. That's
Right
how
now.
that's how I feel right now.
Everything is contingent on what's going on.
Hey, because
game after
go
game.
get it together. Now, but I'll say that even if they go get it together, I think there's going to be some changes need to be made with the staff. But that will be a conversation for the end of the year.
Later.
Yeah. But I'm not sure that I'm sold if there's an overhaul with the staff that Van Gorder needs to go yet.
Oh, right.
Because I think the defense outside of Florida's – because here's the thing. Against Georgia Tech, I didn't feel like they were really, like, missing it felt more schematic.
Yeah, you just didn't have it.
Than it did which it's Van Gorder's fault.
Right.
Okay, I'm not blaming him.
But he's allowed an out-schemed game.
Against Georgia Tech because if the defense...
It's the same reason Syracuse is always tapping Syracuse, butt up and down the field.
The defense has done enough for you to be, what would it be, 3-2? 4-2? No, you would be 4-2. The defense has done enough for you to be 4-2.
Georgia Tech and Virginia.
No, Georgia Tech and Alabama.
Okay.
I think because...
So Virginia, we just stunk it up.
Well, and Alabama, I don't think was anybody's fault. I think you're just looking. They're one of the greatest teams. We're realizing they may be one of the all-time top 10 greatest teams we've ever watched.
Or just a year where everybody else is not talented and they're Alabama.
Yeah, right. But I mean, would you agree with me that the defense did enough at Virginia? Because people act like, Virginia didn't. That's a 3-point game late in the third quarter.
Right.
I mean,
the final score was different.
Sure. I mean,
the beatdown.
And a couple of those came from offensive miscues. So I think that the thing with me is I give you a pass for Georgia Tech, okay, the defense. Let's go back to what you were doing defensively, and let's see if you can bounce back.
You'll never see that again.
No, I don't.
I mean, they may try to incorporate some of the things.
Sure.
But I think Boston College would do more damage to themselves trying to figure out what Georgia Tech did that we couldn't stop than sticking to their own game.
Absolutely. Where my goes is when you call me, Marcus, and you bring up quotes from the
Television.
the
broadcast.
press conference and different things that have Bobby Petrino basically saying, hey, we need to find more ways to get Trey Smith the ball. And I'm like, and I feel like I'm hating on Trey Smith, and I'm not. I actually think Trey Smith's a pretty good player. And I want him here. I think he does a lot for our team, okay? But my point is, he's not necessarily a guy I need to be finding ways to get the ball. Yeah, does he need to get the ball? Can he help us? Sure.
That statement cannot include anybody outside of Dez Fitzpatrick, Hassan Hall, and Tutu Atwell.
Yes. You need to get Dez Fitzpatrick, like you said, Tutu Atwell, Hassan Hall. Find ways to get them the football. Be creative. I don't care if Dez Fitzpatrick's coming out of the backfield sometimes. Find ways to get those guys the football. I understand the running back position too right now. For whatever reason, Colin Wilson's not getting clocked. That sounds like that's more of an issue thing.
A personal thing.
Day Williams, I mean, he was casted up on his hand the other day. I don't know when we'll see him again. I mean, I understand that there's some things happen, but you also got the red shirt rule. Maybe give Hawkins a shot. Say, Hawkins, can you play? Put him in a few. I think he's only played in maybe 2 games so far. I know you have a couple left. My thing I'm watching is offensively. Now, if the defense comes out Saturday and just they can't tackle, they look like crap, then I go, okay, maybe there is a serious – I used this word a lot on Tuesday, a disconnect between coaching staff and players.
Right.
But I expect the defense to actually come out and kind of bounce back and look good again and do their thing.
We're going to come up with some game standards moving forward. We're at the top of the hour. We got warmed up. Steve went crazy. This is going to be a fun second hour. And we're going to talk about the go ahead.
Well, and there's some pretty interesting stuff. I wasn't going to talk a lot of trial, but I'm over here scrolling. There's some interesting stuff coming out.
No, the trial stuff is why we waited to the 11 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
You're going to have to tell your friends to tell your friends. You probably should watch it simultaneously on YouTube while you listen to it. It's 11 o'clock hour. It's not going to be any slow stuff. We're going to unload. It's going to have 1 hour of just straight work. Midday with Marcus Maben. 8150. 93.9 is the number. Or 93.9.
5 Again program for about 2 years now, and I can say with full confidence that I've never felt better. I have more energy, more drive. I'm in better shape than I've been in years. So if you'd like that same level of confidence, try the Confidence Package from 25 Again. Their experts say that testosterone provides the energy, the drive, and positive outlook you need to operate at your best no matter your age, and it has for me. Competing in a younger workforce requires an edge. Get that edge from 25 Again. And 25 Again is unveiling a limited time offer that for one price covers testosterone, vitamin D3, estrogen blockers, and generic Viagra. And of course, you will get all of their professional medical supervision and labs all for one price, no surprises, and no add-ons. So visit 25again.com/low T or call 425-0500. That's 25again.com/low T or 425-0500.
If you want to get stronger, lose some weight, or just boost your health, then you want Baptist Health Performance Training. Hi, Chris Redman here.
Here we go.
Other former U of L and current NFL players Eric Wood, Dion Branch, and Breno Giacomini, we have partnered with Baptist Health Performance Training to bring you high-quality performance training. Whether you're just starting or a professional athlete, visit BaptistHealthPerformanceTraining.com to learn more about our 2-week trial for just $25, BaptistHealthPerformanceTraining.com.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
You're listening to Middays with Marcus Maben, broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services Studio on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. It's Midday with Marcus Maben. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. We're rolling along, people. That was called a tease when I went to break. My man Steve Rummage scrolls a lot. I'm sure you can hear my voice. Sometimes I want to kill him, but he always manages to come up with that heat. Now, what we were doing, we were deep into the Boston College Louisville matchup and what we need out of it and what we need to take place and what's going to be an acceptable thing. But sometimes, in the words of the great Peyton Manning, Omaha. Is that a dated joke, Steve?
No.
Most people get it?
I think most people get it.
Damn millennials.
It's fair enough.
Selena, do you know what I mean when I say Omaha? She has no idea. She shouldn't know.
I don't think she does.
She shouldn't know that. Don't worry about it. You shouldn't know that. So here's the thing, Steve. You read something during the break.
She just said, well, Peyton Manning says that, doesn't he?
Boom.
Got it.
Got it.
Pass the test.
Yes. Yes. You're right. now I'm so much more comfortable with her on the show now that she did. Okay, so Steve.
Okay.
How do you want to go about this? Do you want to
real
FBI investigation conversation? People, I have been laughing this entire time because nothing that people thought that how the public will respond, it's all going exactly like I planned. Listen, people who are not getting the reaction out of other fan bases don't know why. I've been trying to tell everybody why. Because, hey, Steve, why are Kentucky fans, I bet they're just crushing you every day, Steve, on the text line, aren't they? No, they're not. Why aren't they just crushing you every day? Because they're scared too. Well, why isn't everybody making fun of Kansas? Because they're scared too. Now, I will say this. When I said nothing was going to happen, I wasn't saying nothing was going to happen. What I was saying is the big catch everybody FBI. We're going public with all the computer records, and that wasn't going to happen. I knew there'd be some people. So listen, right now, a little more than I thought was going to happen. may be happening. So I'm not willing to say I'm wrong. I may be underestimated the scope of the FBI investigation, but Steve, the day is here. I was not going to sleep peacefully under any kind of sanctions unless I got what you're about to read. And I'm going to try to do it without guilt.
Well, and again, this is just one testimony. There's multiple testimonies going to happen. There's 2 more trials going to happen with different people.
What Steve is about to read is your moment of zen.
Unique New York. Okay. La, 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 la. Adidas bagman TJ Gassinola testified that in November 2015, he flew to Raleigh and gave North Carolina State assistant Orlando Early.
North Carolina State assistant received
$40,000 in cash to deliver to family of state recruit Dennis Smith Jr. Early, assistant at North Carolina, had requested help from Gassinola with the Smiths.
So you sought help for this one.
On wiretap phone call, Gassinola said Louisville coach Rick Pitino had no knowledge of payments going to Brian Bowen Sr.
On wiretap phone call, Rick Pitino had no knowledge?
Did think assistant Kenny Johnson did know. Christian Dawkins, though, said Johnson didn't.
So he thought Kenny Johnson knew, and Christian Dawkins said he didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to play the game of, oh, now they're just, everybody's paying off everybody?
Well, let's keep going. Via Gassinola and wiretap phone calls, AAU coach of Nasir Little, who's now at North Carolina, wanted a Bowen-type deal from Adidas for Little to attend Miami. Adidas believed Arizona had offered $150,000 for Little. Gassinola thought he could get the deal done by having Miami coach Jim Larrañaga call Adidas, Jim Gatto, and make the request. Gassinola on wiretap. Quote, Larrañaga will make the phone call when I tell him to, and everyone will be paid. Later, Gatto said Larrañaga did call, but just ask about the kid. No proof, request of payment made, although it can definitely be implied. Things are getting a little more interesting now, aren't they? So now maybe we don't sound crazy when we say, hey, this is going to be a really widespread problem if they start digging into this. So either they're taking everybody out and they're going to have a mid-major tournament for a year, or you're going to mulligan this thing.
Listen, every time we do this, we're going to replay our biggest fear. We're going to interject our biggest fear inside this entire scope, right?
Sure.
Let's say, worst case, Kenny Johnson did give up that $1,300.
Right.
But here's the thing. Under testimony, that $1,300 was somebody else told me you were supposed to give it to me. I'm living here. I got to pay this rent. Now, Kenny Johnson freaked out. You know what I'm saying? He said, we don't do that. We don't pay players. Our biggest fears, Rick Pitino knew, scratched. Kenny Johnson was systematic, scratched. Even your Jordan Fair, dude, Rick better not know about any of this. You know, whatever y'all are going to do, whatever takes place, needs to happen somewhere else because we're under probation. Now, I don't know what the interpretation is going to be like when that case, makes it to the forefront. But still, we're still talking biggest fears. It's not the word systematic, right? These individualized situations. Now, listen, again, I'll never, ever, ever be taken down the road of the NCAA is going to be rational about this. You know?
Yeah.
I'm okay if I assume I'm going to get treated like a regular law-abiding citizen, and when I break the speed limit, you know, I'm not going to assume that the judge today is going to decide that he or she is going to crack down on all speeders on the day that I end up in traffic court.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Even if that has happened to me one time before. The judge was having a terrible day. I took the brunt of that one. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not scared of that happening again. But I admit the possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Direct coach knowledge.
Yeah.
Assistant coach knowledge. $40,000 numbers. So my second hand extra benefit is now not a recruiting violation. It's an extra benefit to a family. Or it sounds more like that now. I still think it's going to go under the category of recruiting violation, right? But you understand what I'm saying? Like, even my feelings, like my sensitivity about my program. Sure. I don't want to be sleazy program. We had the conversation this morning that out of everything being said, when you look back, you were still pissed off this morning, but when you look back and you said, we self-reported.
Yeah.
Our biggest problem for our biggest scandal is we just assumed that some of it was true. We didn't even have proof of what was true. We just assumed, you know what I'm saying? We knew something out of this whole thing was true.
Yeah.
Some story can be corroborated by a recruit, and we just took a hit.
And when you don't do wrong and you realize, man, maybe I was in the wrong here.
Yep.
Is what you do as a human being. Your initial thing is you have the immediate flight. We've all done this where you're immediately like, okay, maybe I can just hide from this.
Yep.
And then you go, no, look, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be very, y'all know how I do this. I'm going to be very open.
You've done it before, see?
Yeah. Okay,
you don't
so
have to revisit.
y'all know. Look,
you made mistakes.
I'm in church. I do some free. Well, when I had my son Elijah, me and his mom weren't married. We weren't there.
Right.
She says, "Look, I'm pregnant." My immediate thing is, okay, we got to hide this. Now, not do anything.
Yeah, I know.
But you go. But
how do we keep this under wraps?
But it took me a minute and a half to go. I just need to face this straight up
right now.
Boom. I'm calling. Hey, look, here's the deal.
Right?
Yeah,
and you refer to that as the greatest accomplishment of your life,
right?
To face that.
So Louisville in a situation, hey, we may move money here or there. We may, you know what I mean? Like we may, we may have a property deal here that's, stuff that's like,
gray,
but it's not,
gray.
But we don't cheat. We don't pay players.
That's what we're learning.
We don't get prostitutes in a thing.
That's what we're learning. A guy told me y'all cheat here. I moved here expecting y'all to cheat, right? It took guts to say, dude, I don't care who you are. We don't do that here.
Right.
I know we got you here, but I don't cheat.
Right.
So for you to say I don't cheat, no. We're learning that, and Rick doesn't know, I'm learning that my assistant coaches at least have some morals about it.
Well, and what if you're Kenny Johnson and you kind of and Perrin Johnson said this yesterday, and I know I get people don't want to hear this when you say that it happens. Kenny Johnson may have already known. Hey, look, I know something may have been happening between you and Adidas.
Right.
That's kind of shady.
Right.
To still look at you and say, hey, dude, I don't care what you worked out with Adidas. I'm not giving you money.
Right. But see, moral authority guy who wants to draw a connection from a connection from a connection says, like guy who says, Rick, you heard DePaul offered a player this much. And what did I say when that story came out? I said, Rick's probably like, I'm sure DePaul did.
Yeah.
But I'm Louisville.
Right.
I don't have to talk about what DePaul is doing. I don't have to care about what DePaul is doing. You take $200 or $200,000 to go to DePaul over Louisville.
Right.
And Rick knows that $200,000 is gone in a blink of an eye.
Well, and you go to a school like DePaul, I mean, your $2,000 may be the biggest check you ever get. That's why you take it. You come to Louisville for free because you're going to sign a lot bigger checks down the road.
Geez, in DePaul, your rent's going to be $2,500.
Right.
Jeez, Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But people don't realize, you know what I'm saying, that $1,300 was like bus fare.
Yeah.
And assuming that that's 100% on the true side. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But again, I really do have to admit that silver lining to this entire conversation is we can't stop having it corroborated. You know what I'm saying? That, just Rick didn't know.
Yeah.
And it goes back to me saying, listen, things happen and nobody knows. And you're not even burying your head in the sand. People go out of their way to not let, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
coaches know what I'm doing, what I'm driving, who I'm seeing, like, you know,
Yeah.
all that
Yes.
stuff. So here we are. What if you heard? Do this, Steve.
Okay.
Do this. What if you heard that Kenny Johnson called Adidas requesting help signing Brian Bowen, and the Adidas guy said, I brought $40,000 to Kenny Johnson? Think about the shame you would have in your program.
Oh,
it's
gosh,
a different
yeah.
kind of shame.
Absolutely.
Listen, and it's not the fact that the money's so much different. It's the fact that your coach sought help to pay a player to bring him. I can't recruit him. I can't get him here. The only thing that's going to get this kid here to my university or my school is a $40,000 down payment.
Yes.
You damn piece of blank.
Yeah.
Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
That scandal compared to this scandal. We're mad at him for being stupid, maybe, for being compassionately negligent.
Sure.
Negligent. You neglected to put your university first in this situation. I don't care what they ask you for. You know the rules. And again, this is still under premise that he gave the family because the family told him.
Well, and did he?
I know.
Because here's the thing: he most likely gave him cash and has no text message record of it. So while yes, people are using that right now, you keep hearing people going, "Oh, but he gave $1,300."
Yeah.
Kenny Johnson's going to look them right in the face and say,
"Yeah,
absolutely not."
And I'm just saying, listen, even if you say it happened, just keep using the word allegedly, just so we're not beating it in as truth.
Yes,
I don't like narratives to be constantly drove into your head as truth if they're not true.
Because that's not an indictment against Louisville yet.
And just like when you read Dick Vitale's message yesterday, schools like Kansas may be implicated. No, Dick.
Yeah.
Kansas was named.
Yep.
Don't get on your Twitter. Don't get on these social media sites and say schools like this were something. You know, like that's your narrative controlling. Statistical shaping of a story. No. Miami, named. Assistant coach, named. Larinaga, named. You know what I'm saying? Arizona, directly named. This payment, Aton, named. Offer, $100,000, named. Don't start giving me that widespread, everybody, agent, bag. Don't say bag man. Say his name.
Yeah.
Say his name. When you talk about the story, you don't, when Elijah come home or your kids come home and they say, oh, this kid up the street, what do you say? What was his name? What was his name? Because I probably know his parents. Don't come in here with the stupid story. Give me his name. Name is fine. You don't hesitate to put any other names on any other stories. Put his name, put the school. Yep. Don't put like Kansas. Watching Kansas be named in this story makes me fear for the sake of college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you were saying, and you came up with every creative way to say, oh, the subject matter from which is coming out of the court system has a eerie sensation down my spine about schools like traditional KU.
Yeah.
No, University of Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put KU.
I know.
Don't put, like, stop doing that because now I've identified you as the word you used yesterday.
Propaganda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, Steve.
Yeah.
It's flat out propaganda.
Yeah.
And you're getting exposed for it.
No, that's fair. So that this is again, this is a. Do you feel comfortable? And we never know. We never know. But do you feel comfortable that we've reached the point where outside
somebody's finally comfortable saying the name and school and the money?
Not even just that. To where I think outside of maybe if Jordan Fair did something crooked, we've kind of reached the point where everything about Louisville is kind of there. Now you're kind of moving on to who else? Right. Now it's that happened at Kansas. Bill Self was talking to a guy. Oh, Jim Larinaga was talking.
That's what I needed. I needed for my sanity. Coach name, transaction, conversation at those levels.
Well, you do realize one of these next two trials, I'm not sure if it's the one or the one after, all these assistants that got in trouble are going to go on trial. How many of them are going to say?
The university assistants.
Hey, I mean, the coach, yes. Absolutely, the coach knew about it. Yeah,
yes,
I mean, like that's where we're headed. So that's where
I still don't expect it. I put it this way. I think there's more negotiating being done now than you could ever imagine. I mean, hell, these judges already sent Luke and the NCAA to mediation.
Yeah.
That story came out 3 months ago.
Uh-huh.
They've already said, y'all need to figure something out.
Yep.
Because when we start talking about Katina Powell in this case.
Well, when you start messing with, I mean, how big, everybody mocked him, but how quick did things change when Shabazz Napier got up there and said, and do I believe him or not? That's not the point. When he got up on national TV and said, man, we're out here hungry. We ain't got no money. Hey, I just want a national championship. You see this 70, 80,000 people in these stands right here.
Hungry,
and I don't have enough money to go buy something to eat. Like, you see how quick things change when you all of a sudden start putting Luke and these guys up there and they're saying, hey, we were taken advantage of. Like, that turns in. I'm telling you.
Wait till Luke gets called to testify in Larinaga's behalf or something. Just wait till he shows up. Somebody just brings him in there and just ask him one question about the Miami coach. They bring him in as a character witness, then ask him 10 other questions about his NCAA issues.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Luke, you currently have a $102 million lawsuit going on with the NCAA.
Yeah.
Can you give us the premise of that?
Sure.
Oh yeah. Our revocation of our banners was based on the testimony of a woman who had 7 felonies. Previously had 2 daughters with felonies.
Yeah.
Blah blah. And the NCAA chose to use that as their standard for all discipline.
Yeah.
And then we brought up Michigan State, and then we brought up this and this and that, and then they just said our case got thrown out. Oh, really? That's interesting. No further questions, Mr. Hancock.
Yeah, I know.
Objection, Your Honor. Sustained.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Yeah.
Now, Pete. You know what I'm saying? Pat, take that to Yahoo.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting testimony from Luke Hancock today.
Mm-hmm.
2 sentences, 3 sentences.
Yeah.
Be all over. Of course, we're not going to get the same media push, but now that Louisville got this awesome new studio, we're coming up with our own push coming right out of Louisville. Don't worry about it, people. We got you. Midday with Marcus Maven. Quick commercial break. 8150 93.9 is the number on 93.9 The Ville.
As we head back to school, do you have an air conditioning system that needs to
Got it.
Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville is broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services studio. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. It's Midday with Marcus Maben, 8150. 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. People, I always tell you, thecrowdsline.com/DFH. It's fun.
Let's go.
Chance to win some Amazon gift cards. I had to throw that in the middle of the show. I know you're down with having a little fun. Pick some games, win some gift cards, have a little fun. And we're setting it up. We'll have the game of the week. You can pick them, and it's just an open challenge. Just wanted to make sure I get everybody's throw it out there. Just register, and you're in. And when I say register, like put your name down and go win, collect your gift card. Steve, how has gambling life been, by the way?
I kind of took a couple weeks off.
Not to this gambling.
I took a couple weeks off.
Have you took a bad beat yet? Like when you're just a couple of points away from a big win and just caught one of those, because they scare me away.
Not a couple points, but I did. I think in week 3 I had a 4-team pleaser that would have won me.
What is a pleaser?
It's where you basically you say, okay, say Louisville is a 7-point favorite.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to add 6 points onto that.
Oh yeah.
So now they're a 13-point favorite. So you up your odds. Would have won me a few $100, and I won 3 of the 4 games, and then Oklahoma State just got absolutely ran.
So you weren't close with the Oklahoma State.
I was close in the bet as a whole, but the game itself, no, not.
So after that one, you're like, this is a lot tougher than
I took a little time off.
Did you load up on that one, or did you just kind of the regular $5 to say this is tough?
No, I kind of just went back to like I said, I took a little time off. My father-in-law's won like $100 in the last 2 days just flipping coins. Last night he flipped a coin on the baseball game and bet it and won like $40. And
he physically flipped the coin on his own, or he did a digital coin flip?
No, his own. And then like Monday night, he flipped a coin on the Monday Night Football and won $40-some.
Isn't
like,
that
crap?
But isn't that telling you the randomness of gambling?
Well, no, because it is. Because it don't matter it don't matter how bad you think Louisville is this year. They may just show up to play Saturday.
That's why people say don't bet on college if you're a professional like that. I mean, it's the riskiest proposition is to bet on college sports.
Yeah.
It's also the one that gets infiltrated the most, like with inside information, whose girlfriend is doing what, who's beefing on the team. But that's when you get really seedy around players and what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that was kind of a segue. You got I hope you're happy with your daily FBI scandal talk.
Yeah, and there'll be a lot more come out. Mark and those guys, in the afternoon we'll have a lot more for you.
They'll take more time to process it. Bavavano has guys, on the show, and, you can get other perspectives. But like I said, I said this yesterday, and I thought about it, and I really hope I didn't ruffle many feathers. But to me, this is a fact to me. Our perspective doesn't sell like our personalities do, right?
Yeah.
Like our fun, it doesn't sell the same way. So the stories, it's almost, we can work you emotionally by looking at the most dramatic parts of a story. But I guess we're just kind of, not cut from that cloth to chase a story that I think is a long shot, even if it makes you nervous and makes you excited, and even if it works your emotions. So
yeah,
that's kind of our take when we have these discussions about the FBI, the investigation altogether.
Sure.
So we jumped off of our subject, so you can bring everyone that good news.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, I don't want. You never want to say
I was
good
gonna
news.
say, stop. Don't do that.
Yeah, because it's not good news to be involved in FBI trial, but I do think you will learn.
Shared news.
For the first time, I do kind of believe you may learn. Because I was with you. I wasn't with you at first, and then I was like, yeah, you're right. Nothing's going to happen. But now I'm starting to believe that you may just be unraveling the fact that this is a huge nationwide issue.
But see, now, if this, you said it during break, if this Nasir Little thing dies, my faith dies with it.
Yeah, because I mean, here's the deal: if
you sing a bidding war,
sure, if U of L in their new studio offered me $100,000 to work there, ESPN 680 offered me $140,000 to work there,
and
then
you ended up
at 93.9. Your first question would be, well, how much did 93.9 pay? Good Lord. Well, Nasir Little now, to this point, was offered money by Miami. Apparently a $150,000 alleged offer from Arizona, but he's at North Carolina. So that should be an obvious.
Steve, don't act like free Jordans don't go a long way.
They don't go that far.
Listen, baby blue. Look, they got caught selling their baby blue Jordans for $590 a pair, Steve.
Yes.
That will cover $150,000 in about a year.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Now that's an issue, man. Like
you'd be surprised at how things are going on eBay.
Well, that's fair too. You'd try to buy Yeezys.
The powder blue North Carolina edition Yeezys would cost $7,000, Steve.
Well, they never exist. It's Adidas. Will you still wear Yeezys?
I told you. You can name me Marcus West.
Listen to you.
Boombox Mike, thanks for joining us on 93.9, my man. What's on your mind?
Yo, man, I tell you what, this is exactly what I was waiting for as well, guys. Other names. I like this.
Look, don't you feel guilty about liking it a little bit?
I mean, it's due. I feel like it's just due, you know what I mean? Because we took the majority of the brunt, so it's due. So let's make these names apparent to everyone, that's for sure. But it's like we're on the way out of, like, the dentist office, and there's, like, a line going in, and we're just looking at them like,
That's a great analogy.
But, okay. Well, let me ask you this, Mike.
What's up?
You're on your way out the dentist office. Kansas, North Carolina, Arizona, all these other schools are on their way into the dentist office, right? Yeah. Now I got to ask you this question, and I need your honest answer. Does Mike hold his jaw in agony and pain, or does Mike say, y'all don't worry about it, it's not that bad?
No, I'm faking the funk. I got like 8 teeth pulled today. Is the worst pain ever. I'm gonna tell them all. Don't forget your medical card. That's all I'm saying.
Mike, I appreciate the call. Steve, what do you do? What do you do leaving the dentist? Do you? And you'll do it with little children too. With
oh
you.
Yeah.
You'd see a little boy and his sister going into the dentist.
Spit blood in my hand and just walk out holding it.
Why would you do that and show it to the kids? No. You know they can see you on YouTube, right?
I know. I'd be like,
yeah. Just go run.
It's the worst.
Run now.
Yeah. What are you getting done? They're probably gonna take all your teeth out.
Hey, I hope you had something to eat.
I took my son to the dentist the other day, and he's sitting there complaining about the brush stuff tastes nasty. I was like, boy, shut your mouth, man.
You have no idea.
It's too nasty. I was like, are you kidding me? Last time I went to the dentist, man, they broke my tooth, pulled half of it out, gave me another shot in it, pulled it out.
I had to rewire my jaw last time I was
brush those teeth, man. Talk about that nasty stuff.
Is that what he was complaining about, the nasty?
The thing sucks my lip up. I'm like, shut up.
Just the dentist diva.
Hey, and then I'm sitting there in the dentist office. This is why you're never going to make it in football.
And they're looking at you like you're the problem.
I know. Y'all's kids suck, I bet.
You worried about the taste of your floor. God. Cody, last time for the end of the show on the Scorns and Sons Collision Hotline, my man. What's on your mind?
What's up, guys? I think you guys know at this point what I feel about the FBI. I've been venting to like 4 different shows in the last 3 days about it. So I'm just going to go back to something in the first hour. I got to talk about my man Bron for about 30 seconds.
Go fire away, Ronnie.
There's two things. There's two things. Now, he's the greatest player in the world. There's two things that really piss me off about him, and that's the fact that his defense has been complete cheeks for the last 5 years, and nobody wants to talk about that. One-on-one, he's not too bad, but when everybody's like, no, he's saving himself for the playoffs, he saved himself one time when he won that championship, which was amazing. But besides that, that dude gets beat on every single backdoor cut imaginable. He can barely guard anybody one-on-one anymore, and it's really annoying because he's a complete physical specimen, and he's still going to be in his prime for about another 2 years. Another thing, and even the biggest LeBron lovers have to agree with this, his body language on the court is absolutely terrible when something doesn't go his way. Either if he misses a wide-open layup, instead of getting back on defense, which is a big pet peeve of mine, he complains to the refs. He damn near does a backflip every time he gets grazed. And his flopping is absolutely ridiculous, and he's been doing that for the last 12 years. But, you know,
Cody,
am I wrong? Am I wrong for saying those two things?
You started this conversation saying there's two things that bother me about LeBron, and you just listed 9.
Well, they all fall into the same category, though.
Of I hate LeBron.
No, I like him more now than I did a while ago. But like, no, whenever I criticize him to my friends, I get called a hater. I'm like, I'm not a hater. These are valid criticisms that I just can't stand about him.
So Kobe's your all-time favorite, though. Am I right?
No. I mean, well, like, okay, Michael Jordan to me is the GOAT. Like at this stage, Kawhi Leonard.
Who's your favorite all-time player? Cody's all-time favorite player.
Let's see. Right now, it's between like just in the
all-time
NBA now.
All-time favorite player, Cody. There's one per choice.
All right, I got to go with my man MJ. But in this era, it's between Donovan and Giannis. It used to be Kawhi, but I've lost a huge amount of respect for that man in the last year. I'm kind of done with him at this point. But no, right now, Giannis and Donovan, back in the 80s and 90s, Michael Jordan, period.
Cody, I appreciate the call. I will say this. People who say I got 2 problems with LeBron and list 9 usually have 2 things in common: Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, and my only thing would be, dude, name a player.
Giannis and Donovan are not your all-time favorite players.
Name a player whose body language is good when something doesn't go their way. Now, Steph Curry throws his mouthpiece like a 2-year-old child when
Michael
stuff don't
Jordan
go his way.
Punched our friend Will Purdue in the head because he wasn't practicing right.
I know.
He wasn't setting good screens in practice, and he punched him. Michael Jordan dog cursed every referee, so much so that we used to say, "Boy, you referee, you better give him that call."
Yeah.
Right?
I know.
So Michael Jordan is above reproach. Did
know.
you remember how he used to literally slobber on the referee's eardrum?
Oh, yeah.
Every single time.
Well, yeah.
He didn't get his call. And we called it the Jordan rules.
Yep.
The competitor.
Yeah.
The fire.
Right.
Come on, Cody.
Yeah.
You didn't want to talk about that Kobe situation. I know Kobe's in your heart and soul. It's okay. It's still fun. Great show today. Great food on the way. We got some great partners.
Well, yeah, we got great partners.
Globe Auto.
I do agree with that.
705 Barstown Road. Great partner. Bill Etzkorns and Sons Collision Center. Steve.
I'm going to get sushi, actually.
When you do the show, make sure you say Bill Etzkorns and Sons Collision Center.
Yes, I will. Sorry about that.
Jill Blessinger, Becky Cleanroom, Caliber Home Loan. Windows Plus is awesome. DFH, people, go to thecrowdsline.com/DFH. Win yourself some Amazon gift cards. You shop on Amazon. I shop on Amazon. Go to it. Do it. I said so. Listen, traffic is heavy. The weather is changing. Bill Etzkorns and Sons Collision Center, they're not waiting on you, but they're available for you whenever you get into that little fender bender or that thing you've been putting off. Listen, your money's right now. Go get that dent fixed. Go get that estimate. At least go get that estimate. This is just too much fun. This is just way too much fun. People, We are made for the Ville. YouTube.com. We are made for the Ville. 8150 939 is always the number. 3831 939 is always the text line. 10 to 12 always the time. 939 the Ville.